Hi everybody, this is SAAD for the SAAD Truth. This constitutes my second clip of the day. As often happens, just when I think I can make an escape for it, some lunacy brings me back in. So this is a alert that I received regarding a very exciting new edited book that's coming out. So let me read it for you here. This is Queer Feminist Science Studies, edited by Sid Chipola, Christina Gupta, David A. Rubin, not to be confused with Dave Rubin, and Angela Wiley. Let me just read you the introduction here. Queer Feminist Science Studies takes a transnational, trans-species, and intersectional approach to this cutting-edge area of inquiry between women's gender and sexuality studies and science and technology studies, STS. The essays here queer or denaturalize and make strange ideas that are taken for granted in both areas of study, reimagining the meanings of and relations among queer and feminist theories and a wide range of scientific disciplines. Contributors foster new critical and creative knowledge projects that attend to shifting and uneven operations of power, privilege, and disposition, while also highlighting potentialities for uncertainty, subversion, transformation, and play. Bravo, bravo. I won't read the rest of the idiocy, but let me just read you some titles from the actual table of contents. You got pelvic politics. You got from masturbator to homosexual. You have black anality. I've covered that in an earlier SAAD Truth clip. The allure of artifice. What else you got? Pussy ballistics and the queer appeal of peristalsis, or belly dancing, with Margaret Cho. Why do voles fall in love? Okay, I'm not sure exactly what voles means in this case. Sexual dimorphism and monogamy gene research. So you got all kinds of crazy good stuff. But now what I wanted to do next is read for you from their introduction. The book is not yet released, but if you go to Google Books, you can actually access the introductory chapter. So this is from page 5 of the introductory chapter. The beauty of the phrase queer feminist science studies is perhaps the simultaneity of its material and discursive specificity with its constitutive capaciousness. It grounds and unsettles, offering no fixed archive nor method, but a qualifier, queer, that promises to unsettle some of our cherished givens. This could be the first of many volumes offering different archives and new directions for queer forms of feminist science studies. To those ends, it is our hope that readers come away from this volume with a sense of queer feminist science studies as a generative rubric, a useful set of tools. Oh, I'm sure it'll be very useful. And an intellectual political space that enables a proliferation of critical and creative responses to processes of naturalization. In queer feminist science studies, as we conceive it, naturalization, which is not science itself, but to which science is of course vital, becomes the object of critical and creative interventions. The discourses, objects, and practices with which scholars of queer feminist science studies might engage are vast, vast, I tell you. The ubiquity of scientific narratives and their power in shaping the parameters of how we think about the distinctions between nature and artifice, biology and culture, time and space, mind and body, and other vital issues means that science studies must roam far beyond institutions of sciences. A queer feminist science studies must concern itself with the quotidian practices of meaning making that trouble, disrupt, and reconfigure assumptions about nature, differences, species, and worldliness. We hope that the volume supports resolve to recoup and reimagine nature with eyes, by the way, nature is in quotes, with eyes wide open to to processes of naturalization, both historical and contemporary, and that its readers find the volume rich with resources for holding creative possibility and critical accountability together. Wow, that is some deep stuff. Way, way too deep for a simpleton like me to understand. Then later on page 6, they say, how do scientific agendas, questions, epistemologies, methods, results, and interpretations reflect gender normative, racist, heterosexist, classist, and ableist assumptions? Question mark. So again, what this queering and queer feminist science will do is it will get rid of all of these gender normative, racist, heterosexist, classist, and ableist assumptions that are otherwise laden throughout sciences. When, for example, you're trying to map the neuronal activation patterns of the brain, clearly this is all based on heteronormative assumptions. When you try to identify the distribution of prime numbers, well, depending on whether you are a indigenous person who's overweight or you are a thin white person, you'll come up with a completely different understanding of the distribution of prime numbers. Because you see, science is really rooted in identity politics. It's difficult to imagine what's the end game here. How much further can we sink into a collective psychosis of lunacy? I mean, really, truly, how much longer can we tolerate that the taxpayers are funding such collective lunacy, right? We tolerate this. Students pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to prestigious, posh private schools to learn that they should be queering science, that there should be such a thing as a feminist epistemology. Science is precisely the opposite of that, right? Natural laws exist independently of the identity and sexual orientation of the person studying said phenomena. In any case, I thought that I would share this latest bout of lunacy. So don't forget, it's coming out December 2017. For all you simpleton science types, please get this book, because I think you will have an incomplete understanding of science unless you queer it, you decolonize it, you infuse it with feminist epistemologies. Slowly we inch toward the infinite abyss of darkness. Have a good day, everybody.